And now it's time for a preview of an upcoming game by Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a preview of a game that's currently on Kickstarter called Draco Magi. This is a two-player dragon vs. dragon game designed by Richard Launius, who you might know from games like Arkham Horror or Defenders of the Realm, and Robert Burke, who has done Cartoona and has his own little publishing company. So these two have combined to make a very fast-playing battle card combat game called Draco Magi. Let's take a look at how it plays. As with all my previews, all the things you see here are prototype components, so it's not the final thing. There are two decks of cards for each player. They have a dragon deck and then they have a battle deck. There is a location deck, and the locations are actually double-sided. So when you draw a location, you'll draw it from the bottom of the deck, so you don't know what it is or which side it's on. And then there's an advanced battle deck. Now, at the beginning of the game, you're going to have three locations placed in the middle of the table. Now, these locations have different things that affect them, but most importantly are the jewels at this location. You can see one of the jewels here, and you can see a different one there, and a different one there. And your goal is to get three of the same jewel, or three different jewels, or four total. There is a drafting phase at the beginning of the game where each player will draw three of the advanced battle cards. They'll look at them, they'll keep one, give one to their opponent, so each player will have two more that they will then shuffle into their battle deck. Their battle deck is made up of basic battle cards, and the ones that are from the advanced deck are better cards, cooler cards. At the beginning of each round, a player is going to draw 8 dragons into their hand. They're going to look at these dragons. These dragons are different types of dragons, and they have different abilities and different statistics, and as you can see, some pretty cool artwork. And then in turn order, each player is going to take turns placing these dragons on different sides. Now, you can only have 3 dragons at the most on the side, so once I place the third dragon there, I can't add any more dragons to that side. Now, it is possible, sometimes when you play a dragon, you can make a ranged attack immediately. Not every dragon can do it, but this dragon here, for example, has a ranged attack of 2. What that means is I draw 2 cards when I do that, and I attack the top dragon of my opponent's side. The 2 battle cards that I draw, I will look at the ranged side of them. So on here, you can see the range side shows 1 starburst symbol. On this one, it shows none. My opponent then draws 2 cards and looks at the shield side. Well, there's a 4, so he blocks it. If he was not able to block it, I would then kill his dragon, and his dragon would be removed. So this placing of cards phase continues until either players can't place any more dragons because they got 3 at each location, or until players run out of cards. When this is finished, their battle phase is going to begin, and one player, the start player, is going to pick which one of these 3 they want to fight over first. When you decide which one you're going to fight over, let's say, for example, this one here, then I will look at my total attack value. You'll see my total attack value here is 9. My opponent looks at his total attack value, and in this instance it happens to be 8. We will both draw that many cards from the battle deck. So I draw my 9 cards here. Now, I'm not looking at the starburst symbols, that's for range attacks. Instead, I'm looking at the bottom. And there's different kinds of attacks. I have bite, I have claw. Here's a bite twice. This is a bite or retreat, 2 claws, bite or claw. Magic, double claw. So there's different things. And so when it's my turn, I can play 1 or more of these cards to attack my opponent. Now, at the bottom of the cards, there are different symbols on them. You can see here's a sun symbol, here's a star symbol. I can combine my cards into a combined attack if they have the same symbol. When I play these cards, the opponent must play something that defends against them. He doesn't have to worry about matching symbols, but he needs to play the same number of cards. If he doesn't, for each attack he can't play against, he will lose 1 dragon. And then after that, he will then make an attack on me, and we'll go back and forth until one person has lost their dragons, or the players have run out of cards, in which case whoever has more dragons on their side wins that battlefield. And this will continue on each battlefield. It is possible that there's a battle is aborted or something else happens in some battlefields, and some dragons may stay here, but otherwise one player is going to win a battlefield. Let's take a closer look at these cards. You already see that the dragon card has a defensive number. That's how many cards they draw when a range attack is being made. That's how many cards you have if there's a range attack and how much you do in melee. And then special abilities. For example, here, if a gold dragon's range attack succeeds, you get to draw an advanced battle card and add it to your deck. A fireball, if you succeed, you get to make another attack. The poison breath, the shield of the person that you're attacking is -1 with range attacks. Blink, when you play them to a battlefield, he can teleport the dragons at that battlefield, and then will flip the battlefield to the other side, which might change the special ability. Stealth can be played underneath other dragons. Notice some of the dragons don't have ranged attacks. And this one, no range attacks can be made against the silver dragon. And this dragon here, it takes 2 hits to kill him in melee. Very powerful dragon. And then the ice dragon, you can basically shut a battlefield down and wait till next turn to deal with that battlefield. Also, there's all types of different battlefields. For example, here, black and purple dragons have an extra shield. Here, and on the other side, it's the same things, but the jewel is different. Here, gold dragons can't make range attacks, and you don't draw cards if you do a magic attack. Green dragons get +2 to their range attacks. And so there's all sorts of different types of abilities at the different battlefields. At the end of a round, players will discard their cards that they've played that round, although they can keep any of the dragons they want to. They will each get another advanced battle card added to their deck, and this will continue until someone gets the proper number of jewels to win the game. Now, obviously, you're going to be into this game if you're looking for dragon versus dragon combat. The game itself is a very quick card game. You have to pay attention to the special abilities of the dragons in your hand. You want to get your battle deck as powerful as you can so that it helps you in battles back and forth. There's this kind of little feinting maneuvering that you'll be doing with the cards as you play them against your opponents. Like, okay, what does he have? He just played this against me, so he probably doesn't have any more bites. Should I play a bite card against him? Or when's the best time to use a special magic attack which lets you get extra cards if it succeeds, etc., etc. So it's some interesting back and forth. But that's the battle. It's almost like there's 2 different games put together. The one where you're placing the dragons and making ranged attacks, and then the back and forth card play. The games I've played have only taken really around 20 minutes or so. It's a very fast game, and the game is very inexpensive on Kickstarter, and so you can go check it out by these 2 great designers, Draco Magi. In just a moment, I'm going to show you a link to where you can kickstart it. I guess that moment's here. Check it out.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.
Do